Alright guys, today I'm going to go ahead and break down the whole entire leveling system of uniforms, coaches, the stadium, and of course the uniforms, and how they all work together to go ahead and get you one max team chem that you can go ahead and boost all your players with that certain team. And it's really easy and simple. Now, I've gotten a commenting today from Denny Muniz, who says, can you make a video on training coaches and uniforms and on what they do and how they work? Please, would help a lot. And guys, if you have any comment that you're like, hey, I would love for you to go ahead and cover this certain thing in the video. If I see your comment, obviously I do reply to every single comment. But if I do see your comment and I go ahead and see, oh, you know what, a lot of people might want to know this, I will cover it in a video just like I did for Denny Muniz. Like goal for this video, guys, can we smash 100 likes? And finally, question of the day is going to be, are you focused on team chems this year? Are you actually focused on creating a whole entire team around one team? Or you focus on trying to get tier 5 of a certain team chemistry? So let's go ahead and start off right away with the oddball out. And the oddball out is going to be these uniforms right here. You get them for going ahead and doing the level up challenges, and they do not really partake to what this video is about. So I'm just going to go ahead and explain them right away to get them out of the way. How these elite uniforms work is there's 5 different tiers. These 5 different tiers, you can see each one has exactly 10 training points for each one. So 50 training points to go ahead and get all 5 maxed out. Now with these, of course, 5 maxed out. Now of course, with these, it's the same exact thing as your regular teams. We had these last year with uniforms where you could actually get certain uniforms and add them to your squad to go ahead and get better chemistry boost. The same concept applies, except they all with, actual just uniforms. You can choose what chemistry you want. So how this works is pretty much whatever you want to add to these uniforms. Let's say you want to add lockdown to this uniform. You see right here we have tier 1 all the way up to tier 6. Now of course how that works is it's just your actual players in your lineup plus these uniforms, you can go ahead and just add different boosts. So instead of having, 3 players with times 2 lockdown, you can just have one of these uniforms that gives you +6 to your +5 to your lockdown. So it's just a nice little extra boost you can have for your team. Nothing too special, nothing too crazy. These uniforms are not what we're really focusing on today. What we're focusing on today is going to be the coaches, like John Harbaugh. As you can see, he does have an upgrade thing. The gold uniforms, like the Ravens uniforms right here, which also have an upgrade. And finally, we do have the stadium, which again has the upgrade. So let's go ahead and start off with John Harbaugh. This is exactly what this is. This is called Ravens Scheme Chemistry. But whatever team you choose, it will be that team scheme chemistry. In this team's chemistry, you can have up to 10 different slots. You can see right here, 10 team slots. And what this does is it lets you go ahead and max out one certain particular part of your team with those certain players. And it goes ahead and gives boosts to all those players for, on that certain team. So for example, let's say I was doing an all Ravens team build, right? The whole entire squad is all Ravens players. Well, in order to go ahead and max out my Ravens guys, because I have so many, I would go ahead and get all 10 slots filled for my coach, my uniforms, both home and away, and my stadium, which would give me 40 different technical slots, right? And if I go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and take a look at what I can do. Now, each of these slots will go ahead and show you the same exact thing. And that same thing will go ahead and be these 5 options. Now, these 5 options, what they go ahead and do is they increase a certain amount of stats for a certain position or position group. So, for example, we have the balance O, we have the rushing, we have the passing, we have the rush D, and of course, finally, we have the pass D. Now, these, again, depending on what you choose here, is what you want to go ahead and max out. So, what you want to do is you really want to sit down and think about what you want to max out. Because what you're going to be doing is you're going to be choosing the same exact one for all 10 slots for your coach, your uniforms, and of course your stadium. And the reason why is because you see right here, there is about, what is it, 10? Yes, 10 different tiers to go ahead and max this out. Now, as you can see, as you go through, it says 4 players, 8 players, 12 players. We have 16, we have 20, we have 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Now, this does not reflect your actual team that you are constructing. You do not have to worry about your actual players in your lineup. Meaning, you could do this and max it out, your uniform stadium, and get tier 10, and not have one single Raven in your lineup or whatever team you're using. What this means is that you need to go ahead and max out these chemistry slots. So you see right here, we have 10 chemistry slots for each single team. What you need to do is, for each single uniform, coach, and of course your stadium, they all count plus 10. Right? Because you have plus 10 coach, plus 10 stadium, plus 10 uniform, plus 10 uniform. What is that? That is 40. And of course, in order to go ahead and get tier 10, you need to get all 40 unlocked. So 40 players, which is just 40 different team chem slots. So as you can see, depending on which one you want to go for, this will go ahead and give you different boosts. And depending on how high of a boost you get will depend on what tier you are. Now, of course, this only helps the certain players on that certain team chem. So, for example, if you are doing the Ravens and you have a Big Ben quarterback, you're not going to get the +1 throw power. You're not going to get any boost to non-Ravens players. So, my opinion is, and this is how I look at it and what I'm thinking is, I would want to go ahead and max out my whole entire team if I'm doing this, right? Maxing out my coach, uniform, stadium, and uniforms. You could do one of two things. You could go all out on one certain ability or one certain chemistry, let's say Ravens passing, and you could get tier 10 and get all these rewards right here as you can see on your screen. Or what you could do is you could try to go ahead and max, or not max out, but you could try to go ahead and do 2 different chemistries, but you're not going to be able to max it out. You can only max out one chemistry, and if you do max out a chemistry, you're not going to be able to use any other of these, different chemistries. You have to only use one if you do max it out. So what it comes down to is you just want to go ahead and decide what is the best for you. Is it best for you to go ahead and, go all maxed out on one chemistry? Or do you want to go ahead and get, two? I think it's probably, based on that math, right? So we have 10 different slots, right, to get to tier 10. I would guess you could probably get, all of these tier 2. I mean, the math might be incorrect there, and correct me if I'm wrong. If you go ahead and maxed out, well, if you get tier 2 of all 5 of these, right, you could probably get tier 2 of all 5 of these if you went ahead and got at least tier 2 for, Ravens, for all the Ravens, like for, your coach, your stadium, and your uniforms. If you got that all, tier 2, you could probably get 5 of these, I believe, all 5. If I am correct. I might be incorrect on that. Do not quote me on that. But because it says right here, you have to go ahead and get, 4? So, okay, so never mind. Forget that. I'm being stupid. Nonetheless, so again, you want to go ahead and choose depending on, exactly what you want to boost. So, for example, as I said, this applies the same thing to the stadiums and the other uniforms. You can see right here, same exact concept. So, that's pretty much the breakdown of how it works. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. And again, this is a new system in the game. This has never been in the game ever. And if we go ahead and use a Raven team chemistry slot, you see right here, same concept. So, you see right here, in order to get tier 10, you really have to spend a lot of training points to do this. So let me go ahead and do the math real fast. So if we go ahead and add this all together, this is 2,500 plus 2,000 plus 1,500 plus 1,250 plus 1,000 plus 750 plus 500 plus 250 plus 50 plus 10. And you have to go ahead and times that by 9, or sorry, times that by 4. You would have to, theoretically speaking, not adding all the chemistries you have to add to, it's about 39,000 training points. To go ahead and max out your coach, your uniforms, and your stadium, it's about 39,000 training points. Good luck doing that. It's going to cost you a lot of training points to do this. And again, this only boosts certain players. It only boosts the players that you want to personally add to your squad. It doesn't boost every single player, just boosts the certain players that, obviously if you're doing all Ravens, it only go ahead and boost those certain players. It doesn't boost every single player. And of course, you can get your training points back if you really want to. I'm going to do that because I personally do not. I'm not going all max Ravens because the Ravens just don't have enough cards that I realistically would want to do this for. So again, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions, guys. Sorry for my mess up. I did correct myself, but no, I do not believe you can get tier 2 of 5 different tiers. What I was trying to think when I did that was I kept thinking like, if you could get tier 2, and you could get, 5 different times, but I'm stupid in that concept. Nonetheless, though, guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Hopefully, I explained it very, very well to you guys, and hope you guys understand how this whole system works now. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.